So let's talk about CardX payment processing. So this is actually a payment processor. Into this conversation, I want to do an in-depth review of this provider. So here's the overview I want you to pay attention to first. So when you think about CardX, I want you to think about a provider that offers online and in-person payment processing services to merchants, including a unique solution of 0% credit card cost and maximum transparency. So this is really good. So CardX has a simple and easy to use design, enabling seamless, efficient, and fully compliant business payments model. So this is really good. So when you think about CardX, think about a zero fee structure. Okay. And CardX actually was founded in 2013. And so they actually provide, they serve all kinds of businesses and all kinds of organizations. And we love the fact that they even serve government and education sectors also. And the company exclusively promotes its zero fee surcharge pricing model as a way for merchants and institutions to pay nearly zero net fee for payment processing. So this is kind of cool. And one thing I want to say here is that CardX used to be an independent company, but in late 2021, Stacks Payments acquired CardX, but continues to run the company under the CardX brand. So you have CardX that's right now during COVID, they had some restructuring, and they're now part of the Stacks umbrella. Okay. So when you think about payment processing, I want you to think about the fact that CardX processes all major debit and credit cards for most business types, including government and education. And their services include EMV card readers and swipers, access to virtual terminals, and access to a payment gateway. So you have operational flexibility there. So we love that a lot. And one thing I want to say here is that CardX is actually is headquartered in Illinois, in Chicago, and we love the fact that they are constantly trying to really expand their operational and geographical footprint. So this is kind of cool. So when I'm talking about zero cost credit card processing, what is it exactly? Well, zero cost credit card processing, or surcharging, allows merchants to pass along the fees charged for credit card transactions to their customers. Businesses must comply with complex regulations that can vary by state and credit card brand. So it's really important to choose a provider like CardX that really takes care of a regulatory compliance for you in terms of operational flexibility. By the way, boss, welcome back to the show. It's really a pleasure to have you here. Make yourself comfortable. You are going to enjoy today's conversation. Let me give you an in-depth review of CardX here. So I want to look at the pros and cons of this provider. So when you think about CardX, when you think about the advantages, I want you to think about 0% credit card cost, transparent pricing structure. So this is really cool, really great. You have excellent and timely customer support. So this really helps a lot. You also have zero setup fee, no monthly fee, no contract required, low monthly equipment lease amount, and you have domestic telephone support during normal business hours. We're speaking about 8 a.m. to 8 p.m. Okay. So those are actually the pros when you think about CardX. What about the cons here? Well, this service is available only in 48 states in the U.S. So you don't have it in Alaska and Hawaii. And they do like advanced merchant service features. You have variable ETF, so early termination fee. The pricing model, in our view, is not really clear and transparent. And not only that, it's not available in all states, as I just said. And they charge credit card processing fees to customers, which could be it could be a bummer to some customers. You have standard contract length is really unknown, and PCI compliance fees vary. So they're charging you PCI compliant fees also. But the cool thing is that with CardX, you have a wide constellation of industries that are served. You have accounting and tax prep. You have clothing and apparel. You have convenience stores, educational seminars. You have marketing agency, moving companies, personal service, property management, restaurant, bars. You have SaaS, so service as a software. You also have SEO and SEM services, thrift stores, web design services. So you have a large constellation of industries that are served if you were to go with CardX. What about so when we talk about the business types, so you have e-commerce, high volume, information, low risk, mom and pop. You have retail, card present, wholesale, all kinds of operations. Or you also have B2B and B2C, by the way, that are really served by CardX. So this is really fantastic. By the way, boss, I want to quickly remind you of today's topic. We are having a conversation about CardX. This is a CardX credit card processing review. Let's talk about the features here. So when you think about CardX, what kind of features should you really be paying attention to? So you have general features. We have so when you think about CardX, you have general features and then you have ancillary features. So when you think about general features, you have ACH payment processing. This is kind of important and kind of standard also when you think about the credit card processing. You have billing and invoicing. And you have cryptocurrency processing. This is really cool because not a lot of players in this sector actually accept to process crypto transactions. So just be aware though that they will be CardX will be charging you extra for cryptocurrency processing. You have data security. You have debit credit card processing. This is kind of important also. You have electronic signature. So this is another important element where CardX is adding a layer of security and authentication to your credit card processing work streams. You also have in-person payments. So CardX will take care of that, not a problem. You can have a mobile payments through CardX, not a problem. You have multiple payment gateways. This is kind of cool in terms of giving you a multiplicity of gateways. This is really cool. You have online payment processing. This is kind of cool also. You have PCI compliance. Expect to pay a little extra for PCI compliance when it comes to fees. You have P.O.S. integration, so point of sale integration. You have payment fraud prevention. This is another general feature that it really is prominent in CardX's offer. You also have a payment processing services integration. You have a recurring billing. This is kind of important. You have reporting and analytics. We love that a lot. You have mobile credit card processing. You have cash transactions. You have contactless NFC. You have electronic receipts. This is kind of important in terms of making sure that you are actually buttressing your financial reporting. You also have mobile card reader. So this is for if you want to accept on-the-go transactions and payments. This is kind of cool to have mobile card reader functionalities. And you have third-party integrations. So overall, you can see that when we analyze the general features that CardX has, you have a pretty complete, a pretty comprehensive offer from a powerful player in the industry. So let's talk about the value added here. So when you think about our CardX, what kind of value does this provider really adds? Well, the thing is that you need to understand that you have, with CardX, you have everything you need for zero cost online and in-person credit card sales. Okay. So whether you process in-person, in-office, online, or all three, CardX actually has a technology and the solution that you can use to save on processing fees. Okay. And it pairs full compliance rules with advanced administration and reporting capabilities, which you can actually access through the CardX portal. And another plus is the better than average payout time. So for all transactions made before 8 p.m. Eastern, Monday through Saturday, you will receive your payments by the following morning, which is really cool. So this is a great value that CardX adds to your operations. You also have a custom POS terminal and software. So for in-person payments, all CardX customers receive a Verifone VX520 POS terminal with EMV Quick Chip and CardX proprietary software pre-installed. So this is this is really good in terms of helping you buttress your operational capabilities. And terminals ship with everything you need to start collecting payments, including store signage required for surcharging compliance, a detailed getting started guide, receipt paper, and Ethernet and power cords. And the CardX POS terminal accepts chip and swapped credit and debit card transactions. And CardX also offers a MagTech card reader if you want to accept in-person payments at pop-ups, let's say pop-ups or events or other locations. There is a one-time $120 fee for the swiper, and this lets customers pay with a credit card or debit card, but not digital wallets like Apple Pay and Google Pay. So if they choose to pay with a credit card, they will cover the credit card issuer's fee instead of you. So this is kind of cool. And so while it doesn't charge a monthly plan fee, CardX does charge a 35 to 45 bucks monthly rental fee for the POS terminal. And what happens here is that if you cancel your account, you will have to return the equipment. But unlike some credit card processors, there is no restocking fee. So you are kind of safe here. You also have easy to use e-commerce solutions. You have a virtual terminal for card not present payment processing. And you have advanced analytics and reporting. And you also have special features for government and educational institutions. By the way, boss, I want to quickly remind you of today's topic. We are having a conversation about CardX credit card processing. Let me talk to you about the specs here. So when you think about CardX, what kind of specs should you be really thinking about? Let's talk about the hardware and the software. So when we talk about the hardware, the POS, you have the CardX POS terminals are powered by Verifone. So the presence of these terminals at sales points can make payments simple and convenient for people in businesses, government agencies, and educational institutions. CardX accepts both credit cards and debit cards transactions at its POS. Moreover, web payments and virtual payments are also accepted, and the option to choose between in-person payments and in-house payments is also provided. So this is really cool. We love that a lot. And so you have online payments. So this is another value added that CardX has, and another specs that they have. And so you can receive online payments through your websites. Since CardX has its own payment gateway, customers are not redirected to another page. This will allow the business to have complete control over the stages of its interaction with customers without third-party intervention. So this is kind of cool. You have a CardX Government Plus Education. So CardX actually merchant service extend a Government Plus Education feature that enables government agencies and educational institutions to receive payments. This is kind of cool. So in under a second, the technology-empowered service can determine information such as the card type of the customer and determine the processing fee which will be charged. So basically you have the ability to get things done as quickly as possible. And in terms of compliance, PCI compliance, not a problem there because CardX is PCI compliant and pays extra diligence to information security. And therefore, customers' financial information collected by a business will not be prone to system breaches. And the implications of information breaches are kind of severe, as you can understand. And so CardX member, they actually offer extensive protection when it comes to that. And in terms of integration, they actually integrate with all kinds of services, and depending upon your industry. And what I want to say here is that you also have the ability to use CardX really quickly. There's no steep learning curve. The setup can be done as soon as possible. Let's talk about pricing here. So when we think about CardX fees and rates, first of all, you have to understand that you have qualified debit rates, 1% plus 0.20 plus 25 cents. Okay, so qualified debit rates, 1% plus 25 cents. Commercial debit rates, 3.38%. Early termination fee is variable. So the ETF is kind of variable here, and so is the PCI compliance fee. In terms of equipment rental, you expect to pay anywhere from 35 to 45 bucks every single month. Okay, the thing I want to say here is that CardX's pricing plan charges a merchant's customers a surcharge on all credit card transactions to offset the merchant's payment processing cost. As a result, it has the potential to result in nearly free credit card processing. And the drawback is that the customers may resent having credit card processing fees added to their purchases, and CardX is not legally allowed to add surcharges to debit cards, so merchants will pay 1% plus 25 cents on qualified swap debit transactions and 3.38% on commercial debit card transactions. So it's one of those things you have to really be very careful when you analyze your overall cost. CardX also charges a $35 to a $45 monthly rental fee for a countertop card reader, which can be returned at any time. Okay, so those are things you need to be a little careful about. And one thing I want to say is that when we think about CardX in terms of pricing, their pricing is kind of average if you were to compare and contrast that to what the competition is charging, like what competitors such as the Payment Cloud or HealthSim or HMS are charging. But the bottom line here is that you need to understand that CardX is not particularly sort of open to high risk industries. So if you are in a high risk industry, you really want to look elsewhere for a better credit card processing. For instance, if you can go to Payment Cloud approves high risk industries, not a problem. Okay, and they have excellent customer support. They have competitive rates and fees. HealthSim also is kind of cool. HealthSim actually will onboard you with no contract, not a problem, and you have no monthly fees, and you have super low processing rates. When it comes to HMS, you have next day funding, fast account approval, and flexible processing solutions. So fantastic. So what is our verdict here? So when we think about CardX, what is the verdict? Well, while some advanced features of merchant service remain missing in CardX, when compared to other merchant services, other merchant service providers rather, CardX actually offers efficient and reliable service at zero credit card processing fee and maximum compliance. So this is kind of cool. And would we recommend it? Yes, we'll definitely recommend CardX to all kinds of institutions, including government and education institutions. And the platform is intuitive and easy to use, that expert consultation and hiring will not be required. So UX is great, UI is great. And so instead, inexperienced team members will also be able to operate the service to initiate transactions when needed. Okay. Moreover, the requirements for nearly no upfront cost enhances the value propositions of this service. And we also love the fact that CardX is constantly they're constantly revamping their offers to make sure that they adapt to all kinds of constituencies that they actually serve. One thing I also love is that CardX really offers 24/7 support through separate phone numbers for sales, customer service, and partners. And there is an FAQ section on the website to guide the users. This is really great. And CardX also offers a separate email support for users, sales inquiries, and partners. And we love that. And so they are actually available on multiple platforms. So the thing here is that you need to really understand what your needs are, what kind of transactional volume you'll be contemplating through a CardX before actually reaching out to them. Because see, the thing is that, as I said before, they're trying to really go for the zero cost. So they're passing on all the fees to the customers. But some customers are not really, they're not really in it. They don't really like it. So it's one of those things where you have to have a clear idea about who your customers are, what they like, what they don't like. And for them, like the 1%, 2% processing fees is really a big no-no. You definitely want to stop adding it, because otherwise you might be losing customers. Okay, so it's very important. Thank you so much for your attention. I really appreciate it. Today's conversation. I was just talking to you about CardX credit card processing. This was a review. So I give you the overview, the review itself, the features, the value added, the specs, the pricing, and the verdict. Thank you so much. God bless you. I'll see you next time. Until then, remember, stay marvelous.